We are going to be talking about creating a fasting lifestyle that you love. And this is just perfect timing because of course we just finished our 7-day alternate day fasting challenge. And so now that we're kind of in the zone of that, I just want to hear what you guys are thinking as far as creating this lifestyle for ourselves, right? But first, I just want to say, in case there's anybody new watching this maybe later, my name is Lita and I am not a doctor. So anything I talk about here is just personal experience and things that we talk about in our Intentionally Bare Keto support group. And that's all it is just us just chatting, chit chatting. So make sure you talk to your doctor about anything, especially fasting. Make sure you talk to your doctor about it before you do it. Okay. So my first question I'm going to ask is, who here fasts regularly? And then I also want to ask who joined our 7-day alternate day fasting challenge. So I'm going to pop those in there and I'm going to go ahead and chit chat a bit and then I'm going to go back and read. So I want to talk about creating this fasting lifestyle. So we know that fasting is so good for us, right? It detoxes us, it gets rid of the cellular garbage, and it really helps with inflammation, bloat, and let's face it, it really does push us towards our weight loss goals. So it really helps give us that little boost. Um, but how often do you want to do it? That is totally a personal choice. That is absolutely a personal choice. There are some people that love fasting every single day. And if you've been doing keto for quite some time, even if you wouldn't consider yourself a faster per se, you probably find that you naturally don't want to even eat as often as you did before. Like maybe you skip breakfast, or maybe you only eat breakfast and dinner, or maybe you only eat dinner. Maybe it's starting to feel kind of natural for you. So you may have not considered yourself a faster, but if you are not eating 3 meals a day and snacks, you're fasting. So you're probably naturally doing it anyways. But there's some people that actively want to fast a little bit every single day. So like I said, they can do like a 16-8 where they fast for 16 hours and they have an 8-hour eating window, or like a 24, which is 20 hours of fasting and a 4-hour eating window, or an OMAD, which is basically 1 meal a day. And those ones are pretty common. Like I hear people talking about it in the group all the time. That's pretty common for us in the group. And some people love to do that every single day. That is literally their jam. That's their normal every single day. But some people are like, yeah, you know what? I'll do it sometimes. I don't want to do it all the time. They go with their intuition, like how they're feeling, where they are in their cycles. Let's face it, us ladies, there's sometimes, in our cycle, and we just need to eat more. And listening to our bodies is really, really important. We really shouldn't push anything that doesn't need to be pushed. That said, I always say, like, if you can drink more water, have some MCTs, have some keto BHB, have something like that. If you're starting to feel like a little hungry, but you know the difference between starting to get like a little bit peckish and, oh my gosh, I got to eat now. You got to listen to your body and you have to absolutely do what works for you in that moment. And I talked about this when we were doing our challenge. It doesn't matter what you set out to do. I find that sometimes people are super, super hard on themselves. They'll say, I want to make it to 20 hours, or I want to make it to 24 hours, or whatever their goal is. And they're literally like nails on the chalkboard and they're trying to make it or whatever. And it's like, it's just a number. It's just a number. It's a goal. We're trying to achieve that goal, and it would be certainly great if you could make that goal. But if it's like, oh, brother, if you have to eat an hour earlier, 2 hours earlier, you just gotta call it quits partway in the day. Like, who cares, right? Don't be hard on yourself. Just go with what feels right. My tips with the water and the BHB and the MCTs is just that sometimes hunger isn't really hunger. So it's just trying these little things first just to see if you can get by. But if you can't, who cares? Just go ahead. But fasting a little bit every day gives us that benefit every day. What's really great about it, what I find is when you fast a little bit every day, it's so much easier to stay within our macros. For those of you who count your macros, I won't even put myself in that category because I don't do it all the time. But it's not always easy to stay within your macros. And so the less often you eat, the easy it is, like you have like this more generous amount of food and calories and macros to have at the time that you're going to eat. So that makes it a little bit easier too. And also, it just makes us eat it easier during the day. Like we're super busy, we're working, whatever. And so it's just less time to have to figure things out. So that makes things easy too. Another option we can have with our fasting is just doing one extended fast per week. And when I say an extended fast, it could be considered one meal a day. That could be an extended fast, 48-hour fast, a 72-hour fast, whatever works for you and your schedule and your goals. Like I have read about people that do like every week, they do one 48-hour fast. That's just like a given. And to be honest, I was kind of thinking of doing that myself after I have a vacation coming up. But afterwards, I was thinking that would actually work really well for me because I could have the nice family dinner on Sunday night, which we typically have. And then I wouldn't eat again until Tuesday night. My Mondays are crazy busy. It's my busiest day of the week. So not even having to worry about eating at all on Mondays, that actually might work for me. So I'm contemplating it. I'm thinking about it after vacation, but just thinking about your schedule, your work schedule. Maybe, for example, your partner goes out of town on a certain day of the week or whatever. And it's like, oh, well, if I did a little bit of a longer fast while he or she is gone, then I don't have to actually do anything. I don't have to cook or whatever. So, whatever your schedule is, thinking about how you might be able to fit it in where it makes logical sense to do so anyways, would be a great way to sneak it in. Another way of fasting that some people really like to do is they like to fast Monday to Friday. So what they'll do is they'll do longer, fast, like I'll just say OMAD, for example, or a 24 or something like that. They'll do that Monday to Friday, and then they'll go ahead and not do that on the weekends because maybe they really enjoy having like a big family breakfast or something like that on the weekends and more meals or whatever. So, if it's kind of like maybe stricter even Monday to Friday, and then maybe Saturday, Sunday is more lazy keto. I mean, honestly, it's trying to create a lifestyle that really makes you happy and really works with your schedule. I just find it, anytime I have tried to be more strict and more persnickety, I call it, where I'm tracking every tiny little thing and I'm trying to be like all the time or whatever. I find for myself, anyways, it kind of like, I don't know, I can do it for a short amount of time, but it certainly isn't a lifestyle. It makes me feel like I'm deprived in some way. So trying to get this to be more of a lifestyle and less of a prison sentence, I shall say, really, really makes a difference. So for me, that's why, way back, I started doing these challenges because I felt like it just felt so intuitive to do something short term that's more strict and then back to the regular lifestyle in between. And just having that once a month, doing it a little bit stricter, allows me to have kind of a more easygoing keto lifestyle for the rest of the month, which I really, really enjoy. I'm just going to go back here and read a little bit before I keep going. Janet, yes, I do a good amount of fasting. Awesome. My sister says, I try to make it the norm to fast until lunchtime. That's perfect. That's a perfect way to fit that into your day every day. Sadie, I fasted regularly. I quit. I did the alternate day fasting challenge, and I still want to get back into my weekly schedule. I hear you, Sadie. I was exactly where you were. I really had not done much fasting in probably a year and a half. The scale is showing it for sure. And my energy has definitely, like, I could not believe the energy I felt this last week doing the fasting. Like, I remember saying to my husband, like, I feel like my superpowers have come back. I just I feel this energy that I haven't felt in a long time. And I think it's just because, I feel like I'm always kind of on the border with my glucose. And it's really easy for me just to go a little bit too high. And when I do, I just don't have the energy. But when you do a fast like this, it like dumps all this glucose out. And then your body is really running on fat. And I can't say that maybe I haven't been in that position for a while. I mean, for a long time, I haven't been, checking my ketones and my blood sugar and stuff like that. So I think I totally agree with you, Sadie, and I am with you totally. And so we don't want to let this momentum go down. We want to kind of incorporate that. And I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do on my vacation that's coming up too. We'll see if I can actually do it, but I'm really excited to try it. Janelle, I fasted, but I would not say I was regular. Moving forward, I want it to be more regular. In November, I'm doing a 72-hour fast, and between now and then, I'll do various shorter fasts or OMAD, but I'm going to track no matter what I'm doing, still trying to lose weight. So tracking is important, that in my opinion. Absolutely. Absolutely. And you know what? Everyone's opinion is different on that, and you have to do what works for you. But I would say, just from experience for myself and from what I see in the group and what I hear people in all kinds of other groups, you really can't beat losing faster, like if you're tracking. If you're not tracking, I'm not saying you're not going to lose. You absolutely probably will. And it's definitely a more relaxed lifestyle. But if your goal is, I really, really want to lose weight and I want to make sure I'm on point, there's nothing better than tracking. Absolutely. So you should definitely do that. Raylene, hi, oh, sorry, feeding the dogs. Okay, no worries, no worries. Come in when you can. Oh, Raylene says she fasts daily. Okay, that's great. Janelle, well, I'm trying to lose weight. I'm persnickety, 100%. I'm sick of it taking 2 years to lose 15 pounds. This summer, I'm wearing a bathing suit. Ha ha ha. That is awesome. You know what? Oh, Janelle, I totally understand where you're coming from. I mean, I look back to when it was 2 years ago that my family and I went to Puerto Vallarta. It was an amazing, amazing trip. And I remember when I went on that trip feeling absolutely awesome. Like, when, and it doesn't happen very often, like say you have like a reunion to go to or a wedding to go to, or you got something and you actually are kind of where you want to be, feeling super good about yourself. That's how I felt on that trip. I just remember going, wow, I actually got here. I mean, did I still feel like I wanted to lose? I think at that time I thought wanted to lose like 20 pounds, probably would have made me happy or whatever. But even that aside, I felt really good about myself. Even my kids commented. My kids even said, "Mom, you're looking really good." And anyways, it was just awesome. That was 2 years ago. And I just couldn't get my after that, like just going through all the stress that everyone's gone through or whatever, not fasting and just being lazy keto and whatever. So I totally get it. I feel like I have gained and re-lost the same 20 pounds over and over and over. I know exactly how I did it. I know exactly why it's not off. And I have no excuses other than I just at times didn't feel like being really strict. And I decided that I wanted to eat more carbs. That's just bottom line. And you know what? I am not even being hard on myself on about this. And I hope you're not either, Janelle, because this is just life. This is just life. It is not, I've said this so many times, losing weight is not linear. We are not going to go, okay, today I start keto. 1 year later, I'm finished. I'm on maintenance and I'm good. And it hardly ever happens, right? I mean, once in a while you hear somebody say that, right? There's a lot of things that we're going through. Some of us are going through some hormonal things and we've got stresses in our lives and just different things. And it's kind of like an ebb and flow kind of thing. I look at it like there was a time in my life where if I had gone through what I've kind of gone through in the last 2 years, I probably would have packed on 80 pounds. I mean, I'm not kidding you. It probably would have. But thankfully, because of my healthy lifestyle that I truly, truly do enjoy, that helped me so much. It really helped me so much. And you guys all in the group, all of us being together in the group, that has really, really helped. So please, I hope you're not being hard on yourself. So you have to lose if you want to lose a few more pounds or whatever, you're going to do it. You're totally going to do it. Karenza, I'm extending to 18 and then 20. Fantastic. That's awesome. I know you've been getting your fasting muscles back in again. That's great. Raylyn, going to Mexico. Is it too much to think I can do keto through the trip? Well, no, it's not too much to think of, though it is kind of hard, especially if you're going to an all-inclusive. The food is so dang good. Not sure what to put on my expectations. Okay, so since we're there and I'm at the end of the questions anyways, I'm going to talk to you about, I'm going on a vacation. I was going to post it in the group or whatever, but this coming Saturday, I'm going away for my first 2-week vacation in 2 years. And I'm really excited to go. And I am a little bit nervous about the food part because just doing this fasting and I feel like I'm really getting back in my groove. And of course, now we're going to go away and all the temptations. But this is what I'm thinking for myself. What can I control? I can control when I eat a little bit more than what I eat. That said, of course, we can always control what we eat. But come on, you're in this amazing, fabulous restaurant and they're coming out with these unbelievable carby type things. And it's natural that we're going to want to partake in it, even if it's just a few bites here and there, whatever. So this is what I'm thinking. No, don't eat anything until I'm going to have that first meal. Excuse me, have some tea. Meaning, breakfast, that's an easy one for me. Just me personally, I've never been a breakfast eater. I find I get heartburn quite often if I have breakfast. It's always coffee for sure. I've actually sent my MCT powder ahead. I've already had it shipped to where we're going to go. And so I will have my powder there. And so my thinking was I was just going to have my MCT powder in my coffee, but let's just say I didn't have the MCT. Let's just say in your case, Raylyn, let's say you're not going to take it with you, though I will say there are people that actually pack it in their suitcases, and I'm actually not kidding whatsoever. I've heard a ton of people say that. But let's just say that you don't want to go to that kind of trouble or whatever. Skip breakfast altogether. Just have like black coffee or, put a tiny little bit of creamer in if you want to, but basically no calories. How long can you go in your day before you actually eat? Because as soon as you actually start to eat, and yes, you probably could pick something that's like really good and healthy keto. I have a hard time doing that on vacation because once I see all that amazing stuff, I just have a hard time saying no. So going as long as you can without eating is what I would say would be a really great start. Then number 2 is when you do eat, say to yourself, and I'm going to use the buffet. I love buffets. I love all inclusives. I love having all this, variety of food. It's just, oh my gosh, just thinking about that Puerto Vallarta trip. Anyway, sorry. So then when you start eating, you say to yourself, I'm going to start first with all the stuff that I know is really good, healthy keto. So you're going to have your protein, you're going to have your veggies, you're going to start with that. Try not to even put anything starchy, desserty, nothing like that. Don't even have it. Take lots of the other stuff and try and get in as much as you can of that. And then you're drinking your water or whatever. And then once and you say to yourself, like, I'm allowed to have, if I want to have that thing, I'm going to have that thing. If I want that dessert at the end, I'm going to have that dessert. I'm on vacation. But if you get all that other stuff in first, maybe by the time you're done, a lot of times I only have it in me to say, like, say my husband will take a dessert and I'll say, can I have a bite or two? And I'll just take like a bite or two of his and I won't take the whole entire thing. That's kind of my goal for my trip. I don't know if that would work for you, Raylyn, but I'm going to try my best to go as long as I can in the day without having any calories or just my MCT powder. If I have that in my coffee, I'm totally fine with that. Yeah. So Janelle, wow, great idea for Raylyn on eating in Mexico. Yeah, because here's the thing, Raylyn, because I think she's going to Puerto Vallarta too. And I'm going to just presume here that you're going to an all-inclusive. That food is around all the time, right? You go down there and the buffet is right there and, all those awesome restaurants are there, whatever. The food is always there. And so you tell yourself, I'm not saying I can't have it. I'm saying I'm just not having it now. So if you happen to swing by and you see that little something, you're like, I'm going to have that later. I'm absolutely going to have that later for sure. And then you tell yourself that you're just going to hold off until then. I'm telling you, when I went to Puerto Vallarta, I didn't do that. What I did was I was trying to eat keto. And so, and I said to myself, well, I'm on vacation, so I'm going to have breakfast, lunch, and dinner because that's what the whole family was having. Man, it only took about 3 days of eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And my glucose was going up, my insulin was going up. And then I actually truly became hungry, like for reals hungry. I was so hungry that I couldn't stop myself from eating 3 meals a day. And oh, by the way, they're coming by with a little pizza cart or whatever. And oh, ice cream in the afternoon. And all of a sudden I was saying yes to that. And when it was over, I said to myself, why did I do that? And I realized I was just allowing myself to eat too early in the day. At the very least, if I had pushed it off till lunch, I would have done better. But I'm telling you, I am going to try my absolute best to only eat at dinner time. I'm just going to have black coffee. I'm just going to have water, going to have, no calorie beverages, some MCT powder if I have it around. I'm going to try my absolute best to do that unless we have some kind of a special lunch thing happening. I am going to try really hard. And then when dinner time comes, like I said, I'll stick with the really good healthy foods. But if I want to have that dessert after, I want to have a couple bites of this or that, or I want to have a drink, it's happening. It's happening. I'm on vacation. But I think not having the calories beforehand is going to help so much. I am actually going to weigh myself before I go on vacation because typically we actually do that as a joke with whoever we go on vacation with. We all weigh ourselves. We don't tell each other our weight, but we weigh ourselves. And then we say, how much did we gain after the vacation, right? Because you almost always gain after a vacation. I am really hoping that after this vacation, because I'm going to be doing a lot of walking as well, that I'm either going to stay the same or I'm going to lose. And I'll report back to you guys. I will tell you if this actually worked for me and how I was able to not eat as often. But anyways, that's my plan. Maybe that might work for you, Raylan. See if that works for you. Let me know also if you're at an all-inclusive. I'm curious if you are. Yeah, that was like so fun. Oh, I'm excited for you. Puerto Vallarta. Oh, man. I can't wait to get back there. But anyways, I'm going to be on my own little vacation and it's going to be really fun. And yeah, so I'm going to do the best I can. And of course, sticking to my very low calorie vodka drinks, maybe the odd tequila shot. Not going to lie. It's been 2 years since I've had a vacation. So I do plan to have fun, but I just don't want to have so much fun during the day that it makes me like be completely off the rails. I want to be in control fun. So I think at this point, I might rather have my calories with alcohol than I want with food at this point. Oh, so excited to go. Anyways, you guys. Okay. So that's basically what I wanted to talk about. Oh yeah, actually there was one more fasting idea that I wanted to present to you too, is planning a fasting, like more of an extended fasting, like I'll say, like say 48 hours and more cyclically. So however that works for you, like maybe you want to do it, like I said, there's some people that do it like 48 hours per week. That's really cool. Some people will do like 48 hours once a month and they kind of mark it on their calendar. Some people do it like 4 times a year. They want to do a 72-hour fast and do that like really deep autophagy and really good toxic dump. It's really whatever works for you and your schedule and what's going on. But I think myself personally, I mean, I honest to goodness think it's so healthy. It's so healthy and it's so good for us to do this. I will definitely be doing it on a more regular basis, like all the time. And then I'm going to be including like a longer fast more often than I have. Like I said, I've taken this little hiatus. I think a lot of people have been a lot going on in the world and it just hasn't really felt right. But now I'm ready to get back into it. And it sounds like you guys are too, because you guys are really into this challenge. And I'm just, so you know, I'm just kind of making out kind of like a year at a glance. We talked about that, about knowing what the challenges are ahead of time. And everybody was really keen on that idea. So I'm doing that right now and I'm kind of planning it out. And when I get back from my vacation, I'm going to present it to you guys and just see what you think. And then we can go from there. But in the meantime, I think next month, I'll let you know what it's going to be ahead of time before I go out of town. and then you guys know. But I don't want to do everything around fasting, only because there's a lot of people in the group that aren't comfortable with that yet. And even the 7-day macro tracking challenge is really good. And if you're a faster, you can just do your fasting while we're doing our 7-day macro tracking challenge, right? It's no big whoop. You can still participate totally, even if you're fasting. So I think I just like to include things for people that aren't quite there yet. Make sure everybody's included. Janelle, her phone died. She'll have to listen later. Yes, she'll be all inclusive for 10 days. Well, first she was feeding the dog and then her phone died. Come on, Raylyn, get your together. I'm just kidding. That's awesome. All right, you guys, thanks a lot for coming out. And thank you everyone who joined in with the fasting challenge this last week. It was awesome. And I appreciate it because I feel like now I got my mojo back, and I know a lot of you guys have too. So now we're all like excited for this. So maybe we can get down to like a new goal for the rest. We still have a few months before Christmas, so we can work on that. So anyways, you guys, great chatting with you, and hope you guys have a nice night. Take care. Bye. Hey guys, before you go, hit the like and subscribe button if you haven't already, and hit the bell notification so you can be notified every time we have a new video posted. Also, down in the description, I will have links to everything that we talked about in our chat today, including information on how you can join my Intentionally Bare Keto support group. See you next time.